Hey everybody, it's Nancy May from Doing It Best with Elder Care Success. Now, this is a question that I posed to the group about the caregiving journey and whether people thought it was either a privilege, obligation, or burden. It was interesting to actually see the responses that people brought forward. Everybody said all three, except for one gentleman who said it was a privilege. You know, I'm kind of on the fence with all three of them. And yes, with that gentleman who said it was a privilege. I don't know whether he was a direct hands-on caregiver or not, but the privilege of being able to take care of somebody is one that I think really brings us to such a higher level of understanding of ourselves. Yes, it's an obligation if we feel that we should because they've taken care of us over the years. Actually, they brought us into the world, so I would hope that they would do that. And we're bringing them out of this world. So that's another obligation, to do it well, or maybe a responsibility. But I think it's a privilege in many cases. And yes, I want to let you know, especially if you're a first-time caregiver, it can be a burden too. It's a burden of the heart, it's a burden of the wallet, and it's certainly a burden of the head and the mind. And yes, often our careers. Unfortunately, people who we work with really don't often understand what we're going through. If you're taking care of kids, that's one thing. I think the corporate world actually celebrates the youth of this world more than they celebrate our older folks. And I think that's a really sad statement. One that I hope our clients, our employers, and our colleagues will understand as they go through this. I call that sort of the silent generation of caregivers. We often don't share what we're going through, and sometimes that's hard to do. But sharing it with a friend who's been there, done that, or just starting down that path themselves can often help just alleviate just a little bit of that uncertainty. Yes, it is a joy. It is an opportunity. It's a privilege. It's an obligation. And yes, it's a burden. All three. I hope that this short little message just helps you think about those things before or during or even after your caregiving journey. It's one that I think we don't talk about enough. Yeah, there are lots of shows out there that are telling you what to do during the course. There are too many that are telling us how to sort of get our heart and our head around this and our lives. So that's it for this short little episode of Doing It Best with Elder Care Success. Is it an obligation, a privilege, a burden, a joy, or all of the above, or something else? On that note, please make every day count, not just for your folks, but for yourself too. I'll see you soon, and we'll hear you soon. And don't forget, tune in to the Elder Care Success podcast. It's audio only, but you don't need to see my face all the time. Bye-bye.